'Tis the season for New Year's resolutions, and best-selling author and organizational psychologist Adam Grant is here to help us. Grant is the author of Hidden Potential, The Science of Achieving Greater Things. The book offers steps to help people unlock their hidden potential and achieve success. One of his other bestsellers, Think Again, is now available in paperback. I mean, when he writes, I read because he is the man. Adam Grant, what's up, man?
Wow, that's very kind of you. I'm going to try to live up to it today.
No doubt about it. So let's just jump right in. What's your advice for people who are looking to unlock their potential in 2024?
Well, I think the place I would start is to say we often underestimate ourselves. We think we're the best judges of our own potential because we know ourselves better than anybody knows us.
Right.
But that makes it impossible for us to be objective and neutral. So one of the best things you can do to start the new year is to go to people who know you well and ask, what should my resolutions be? And how can I unlock my hidden potential?
Wow, that sounds like an invitation for some potentially awkward conversation.
Mining for gold, as you might call it in the book.
You don't have to follow all the advice you get, but you want to hear what the patterns are.
And these are people who know you well.
Ideally, friends, family members, close colleagues.
You've got this concept of a mistake budget. What is that? How does it help?
Well, the idea is that we learn more actually when we make mistakes than when we do things right, because then we end up scrutinizing what went wrong and it really sticks in our memory. So if you never fail, if you never make a mistake, it often means you're not stretching beyond your strengths and you're not challenging yourself enough. So I think we should all set up an expectation that we're going to do one or two things every year that will fall short. And that way we're better able to bounce back and forward from it.
All right, we'll fail more. I like that. I can get behind that for sure.
No doubt.
What's your take on this idea that people feel stuck? You know, especially when we're approaching this place of new beginnings and hopefulness and joy. What do you tell people who are thinking about making a move, but they're not sure and they feel a little stuck?
I think the best research I've read on that says that when people get stuck, they often hesitate to go backward because they don't want to give up the gains they've made. But empirically, people end up, before making a leap, typically making a dip. We actually get worse before we get better. And that's often because we have to go back to the drawing board and try something new, and we're not going to be good at first. And I think we have to be willing to give up some of that progress in order to make a bigger gain over time.
Can you give a quick example of that? And
Yeah.
what you talk about in your book?
An easy one is just typing. A lot of people will type by hunting and pecking.
Right.
And at some point, you just max out on 30 or 40 words a minute. If you want to get better, you have to learn to touch type and memorize the home keys. But at first, you're going to be slower, and at some point, then you'll speed up.
In chapter 4, Transforming the Daily Grind, it stood out to me as a former athlete, and now that I have two boys that are 19 and 17. And you went in it talking about Brandon, the trainer for Steph Curry, and how his approach to training is making practice fun, a little bit different with these incentives. And I have to read this because it really spoke to me. It said, in Brandon's form of deliberate play, the person you are competing with is your past self. The bar you are raising is for your future self. You're not aiming for perfect, you are shooting for better. How do you help people transform the daily grind? Because the monotony of waking up every day and doing the same thing, it breaks people.
It does. That's a huge problem. A lot of people burn out from it. And even before that, they get to what psychologists call bore out, where they're literally just bored out of their mind with the repetition. So what you want to do is look for variety. I think in Steph Curry's example, what you have are a bunch of different skills he wants to build. And you create little games out of those to say, okay, I've got a minute to score 21 points. And different spots in the court are worth different amounts. And the great thing about that is then he's got a target to work toward. And if he's just competing against others, then he can win without improving. Whereas there, he's actually tracking his skill progress.
Got you.
So I think we all need those little games in our daily life.
Adam, I'm very curious about your history as a diver, competitive diver. And you say it was very important in teaching you lessons about hidden potential. But first, I want to show what you put on Instagram not that long ago. This is Adam Grant, the diver.
What do we got here?
Hey! Not bad.
Long retired.
Long retired. I mean, let's unlock some hidden potential here. Is it going to be Adam Grant, Olympic team 2020, whatever?
Never.
Is that because you raised the bar? Is that because you raised the bar?
No, didn't have the talent for it.
So the bald head is for the aerodynamic flips and tricks into the water.
You know, you never lose the ability to do that, but I can't jump as high as I used to.
Let me ask you this before we go. You talked about taking a break, which I feel like is very important. We don't know how to. We don't know when to. What do you recommend for people that are just grinding it all the way through, and sometimes they take a break when it's too late.
Yeah, I think the research on this suggests that even 5 to 10 minute breaks make a big difference. So a lot of us are obsessed with okay, I'm gonna take the 2-week or 6-week vacation. That is not enough because all you're doing then is recovering from burnout and going back to the same situation that was exhausting you in the first place. You have to build in proactively regular breaks into your day in order to maintain your energy.
Almost
so
like
good.
almost like commercial breaks.
Yeah.
I knew that was
I see what you did there.
It's funny, I knew that was coming.
Okay, and we're gonna head to one of those in just a bit. Adam Grant, thank you so much. Hidden Potential and Think Again are on sale now. Go get them.